something new may be coming to Magic Kingdom.
That's right. Walt Disney World may be getting ready to fix one of the biggest complaints, I guess, from people for this 50th anniversary celebration. And it looks like Walt and Roy are going to be heading to the projection on Enchantment.
For the last 10 months, Walt Disney World has been doing its thing with its 50th anniversary. But did you know that resort guests were asked if they knew the 50th anniversary was actually even happening?
What did they say? Did they say they did not?
I'm not sure. It must be, right? Because it's indicating that a lot of people that are going down there were unaware that the birthday party was happening. And in return, they're saying that it obviously was a bit lackluster.
I wonder if it's because that there was such a long period of time for this anniversary party, 10 months, that it wasn't compacted enough. They needed to have a lot of things, but they needed so much time in order to spread them out that people just kind of forgot.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's that. Maybe a 50th isn't a big deal to people. Maybe 100th would be a bigger thing for them. But it appears that Disney World is taking this criticism to heart because it might be adding a new segment to the Magic Kingdom Nighttime Spectacular. While we're not into rumors on our Unlocking the Magic podcast, if you guys are a regular listener of the podcast over there, we don't love to talk about rumors that are happening, but this was seen recently as a testing happening, and we hope that it gets into Enchantment. Enchantment is that brand new fireworks show in Magic Kingdom that many people like or love maybe, but it's not like happily ever after or wishes.
Yeah, I think a lot of people love nostalgia, and I think Disney did that to us. Disney is built on nostalgia, right? Like the years gone by, hanging out with your family, enjoying the atmosphere. So they've built that into us. So every time they change something, they kind of trigger that. Where's the nostalgia factor to these new things? But like Walt said, everything is going to be changing, and we need to keep growing and trying new things.
Walt did have a hand in the past. He loved nostalgia. So if you can see that throughout his park in Magic Kingdom and in Disneyland, you can see how he was making even, Town Square, Main Street, USA, the kind of idealistic town that he envisioned. But he loved things like Tomorrowland. So I think Walt did it to us.
True.
So that's kind of why our love for the nostalgia, I think, is so strong. Plus, obviously, we all have, those of us that have visited the parks when we were younger, definitely have that feel that we want to bring to ourselves again and to show our children. So none of that was happening in Enchantment. So nothing really celebrated the history of Walt Disney World.
Well, they've been kind of eliminating Walt from advertising as of late. They've just been pushing like what they're currently working on.
Well, yeah.
So recently, and this was a test they did overnight at the Magic Kingdom, they were redoing Enchantment and adding a feature, and somebody was on the Contemporary, and they caught the beginning part of it where they see Walt Disney and Roy Disney as part of the projection show on the castle, which is interesting and very cool.
I think so, and I think that is exactly what I think I want to see. I think maybe the majority of people might want to see. Again, it's Disney World, like this article said, by its very nature is designed to invoke nostalgia in guests. And I think that's where maybe the company, what it's doing now, is trying to maybe capture and try to get the younger generation to come down. But in the same token, I think they're missing a little bit of the mark of what everybody loves about Walt Disney World.
I mean,
us included.
That's what we try to do with the podcast. I mean, we did a blog post recently about books, because a lot of people ask us about how do you get people who aren't necessarily into Disney to go to Disney? And I think the history, if you read the history of the company, that's how you do that. And there's a lot of interesting facts about Walt Disney and Roy Disney and starting the company and the history that if you read that, even if you're not into riding Small World or Dumbo or Space Mountain, you think it's for little kids. If you read some of that and why he created the parks, I think you'll be a little more likely to let yourself be a kid and have some fun.
I agree. And I think it could be just through books, through Walt Disney. It could be others that have written about Walt Disney. or Imagineers that have written books. One of my all-time favorites is Marty Sklar, and I love his One Little Spark book. I think that it can be read all different ages, age levels. It's a really fun, lighthearted book that you can really get to know the company. You get to know the place.
Yeah, and you get to know how Walt Disney communicated, which is interesting in and of itself because Marty Sklar was basically Walt Disney in writing.
Yeah.
He helped Walt take Walt's idea and put it into words, and Walt read those words.
Right.
But Marty Sklar worked with Walt. And it's great to hear perspective from people who actually worked with Walt Disney.
So nothing about this testing has been officially announced. So like I said, we don't love necessarily talking about rumors, but this was something that was seen. And we're hopeful, I think, more than anything, that this could be a change. Although a change like this is really made, and we're already more than halfway through the 50th anniversary. It's an 18-month long 50th anniversary.
Jeez Louise, that's a long anniversary. Imagine having to be responsible for that anniversary.
No.
All right, we got this anniversary coming up. It's 50th year, but it's going to be 18 months long. Let's get some content going here.
It's going to be 50
That's going to be
years
stressful.
long. Yeah.
The one thing I do, I don't know if this is good or bad.
Okay.
But with the internet and social media, us fans have a loud voice in what happens or how we perceive things that are happening, right? There's a way for us to express our pleasure or displeasure with things. And I wonder if Disney did this because of the fact that a lot of us fans weren't enjoying the 50th celebration.
Well, clearly they were asking guests. I mean, if you're in the parks, you'll see cast members walking by with these pads.
Which I always try to avoid for some reason.
I know. I don't know what happens. You get put on the spot or something. But it is worth your time because what they do is they collect that information if you can. I know that obviously if it's your first time in the parks, you just want to see it all and don't stop. But it really is helpful for the company because not only on social media, I'm sure they're seeing feedback from guests like us and major fans, but also the guests that are there visiting the parks that day. Who knows how you feel? I mean, I know it for myself sometimes when we're recording and we're in our home studio, I feel very differently than I'm actually experiencing something in the park, whether good or bad.
Right. For sure.
So, yeah.
So I think I'm excited to see this. This is a change to the projection show that makes me want to sit there and watch it.
I agree. I think that's something we've always talked about is just incorporating more of the history and past of Walt and just seeing how a person was able to overcome so many obstacles that I just think that it's a good message for those of us that are struggling in our daily lives or really just want motivation and really to dream up something that it can be done.
Absolutely. So let us know what you think. Are you excited to see this? Do you enjoy the changes that they make? Or are you like us and, it depends on what the change is?
Right. And if you head over to unlockingthemagic.com, our website, we have a list of 17 Disney books every Disney fan should read. So I think it's be worth your while, whether you're traveling somewhere else and you just want to pick up a book. I love when I'm traveling, especially when I'm on an airplane. I love reading about all these books. Kind of gets me excited to go to Walt Disney World or anywhere, Disneyland. But we have a list there of all these books, some written by some really fantastic Imagineers that we've had on the show in the past. So check it out.
And most of them, if you're not a reader, have audio versions that you can download and listen to. So if you're doing something else, if you like to listen to a book while you walk or at the gym, the audio versions are available as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of UTM TV. We'll see you. Actually, hit the subscribe button before we go.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think in the comments below.
Little homework for you.
Little homework, and then we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.